Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris is now on the Audacy app and Audacy.com.
Now, it's time for Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Here's your host, Greg Bicouvaris.
And welcome to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Glad you're with us on the Audacy app and wherever you get your podcast at. It's a pleasure to talk to a guest we've had on several times on Sports Highlights and Sports Scene, Rick Kiefner, part of the Old Dominion broadcast team. Rick, how are you?
Doing great, Greg. Looking forward to talking with you.
Very good. My pleasure as well. Let's get right to football. It's a losing record right now, but they still have a chance to salvage the season, but it won't be easy playing James Madison.
No, it won't. This is really going to be a tough game for Old Dominion University. James Madison comes in the 7-2 record. They're now bowl eligible for the first time in the history of the program. Old Dominion, after that disappointing loss a couple of weeks ago against Appalachian State on the road, 3-2 still in the conference. So they can if they continue to win, it'll be all right. But it's going to be a tough one. It's the Royal rivalry game, and right now. James Madison, Old Dominion, that's the biggest rivalry.
Absolutely, and brand new coach for James Madison, brand new coach for Indiana, because the Indiana coach used to coach James Madison, which always gave Old Dominion a tough time.
Yeah, Old Dominion now has lost the last two games. The series is tied at 2-2, and Old Dominion has lost the last two games. 2 years ago, they got whipped 37-3 in Norfolk by James Madison. Last year, a very surprising close game up in Harrisonburg. Old Dominion gave James Madison's Dukes all they could handle before losing by just a field goal, 30-27.
But it won't be easy for Old Dominion because they've got Marshall next and they got Arkansas State, and there's no guarantee they'll get to 500 this year.
Exactly. Right now, I mean, they've got to do the same thing they did last year. Remember, they won like their last 5 games to become bowl eligible. Right now, they're 4-5. They've got 3 games left, including Saturday's game, so they've got to win 2 out of 3 to become bowl eligible and have a winning record.
But in all due respect, Rick, as you well know, for Old Dominion, it was not an easy schedule, starting off with South Carolina, taking on Virginia Tech, and, of course, East Carolina. Those are not 3 easy teams to open up the season with. You would hope the coach in the future would at least get an opponent that's a little bit less stressful than those 3.
Well, that schedule was scheduled many years ago, and if you look at each game, Greg, Old Dominion was competitive in all the games except the second half of the Virginia Tech game. So, and I think that helped them play this season against some of the better teams in the conference. Although it was tough, I mean, if you look at some of these other schedules these teams have, they got, Little Sisters of the Poor the first 2 or 3 games, and they win, 45-10, what have you. I don't know how good that helps you, but as you said, playing South Carolina on the road, giving South Carolina all they could handle, then you've got East Carolina and you have Virginia Tech back to back to back. Certainly was a tough. That was the toughest opening schedule Old Dominion has had in their short history of football.
All right, let's switch gears to basketball, talking to Rick Kiefner. And Rick, tell us what you do now with Old Dominion as far as radio is concerned.
Well, as far as radio is concerned, I'm helping out. Have been helping out at the halftime of the home games as far as interviewing some of the players for both the men and the women. Let the fans know that a little bit about these players that they might not see during the regular course of the game. Tell them a little bit inside stuff. So that's what I've been doing the last couple of years. But as you know, I've been involved with Old Dominion athletics. I guess since 1973 was when I first started, being on the air, et cetera. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyment, a lot of nice relationships that I've had over the years. Matter of fact, I was with Wilson Washington last week at an event, and good seeing him, meeting his family, et cetera. And we talked about what happened 50 years ago, Greg. Old Dominion had won the national championship in March of 75. In December of 75, they had a new coach, Paul Webb, and Sonny Allen, the previous coach, had already arranged a schedule where they wound up playing 2 of the top 10 teams in the country. UNLV with Jerry Tarkanian, and then 2 days later against Arizona, which was, I think, a top 10 team at the time. And I kind of reminisce with Wilson Washington. He did a hell of a job both games. Matter of fact, the last game in Arizona, they lost by 14 points. And at the end of the game, he got a standing ovation as he got fouled out. Because the guys for the Arizona Wildcats couldn't stop them. And, we had some great memories. So I've been involved with Old Dominion for a long time, and fortunately I've had a wonderful memories of basketball and, of course, the last few years with football.
All right, Sports Team with Greg Bicouvaris. Thank you for that, Rick. And Old Dominion's basketball team, brand new coach. Not a good start, losing to a state school last night in Radford, 87-75. The Arizona loss, I'm sorry, that was flat out embarrassing for a Division I school. But it's a brand new coach. It's an Old Dominion alum. And, of course, they can get it all right when they take on Maryland Eastern Shore Friday night.
It'll be interesting to see what happens and what kind of reaction now the team has. They've had a long road trip, as you said, Arizona on the road, then coming back. They went from Arizona, flew into Charlotte, then bust into to Radford, and so they came home last night, early this morning. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen on Friday. They'll have a day of rest, et cetera, and then maybe one day, half a day practice for Friday's game. But not the start you wanted. Against Buffalo. They were down big in the beginning. Arizona, they were down big, and then Radford down big. So they've got to get off to a faster start. Mike Jones is definitely a good coach. He knows what the problem is, and he'll get them turned around. But again, Greg, you got to add the fact that they got a lot of new players, which is nothing new now in college basketball. You've seen that. I mean, every team's got new players, but these players just got to gel. But they're going to be better in December than they are in November.
Absolutely, and of course, after that, they take off Randolph-Macon, and Randolph-Macon can be on and off like any other team, like we said, but still, those are two teams at home, or whether on the road or wherever they're playing at, but they're playing at home, that Old Dominion needs to win those home games against those two teams.
Well, absolutely. On paper, yes, they should win that game based on the scholarships, et cetera. But again, you just can't show up for a game. You know that. You can't show up for a game and expect to win. And, you're going to have to play hard. And that's your job of the coaches. They've got to make sure every one of these kids plays hard every game throughout the season.
Right. Talking to Rick Kiefner, Greg Bicouvaris, glad you're with us on Sports Scene on the Audacy app, wherever you get your podcast as well. When you talk about the attendance at Old Dominion for football this year, and, what your thoughts are for basketball coming up, were the fans engaged? Were they staying for the first or the fourth quarter? What have you seen so far?
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, football has been very good as far as the attendance is concerned. Old Dominion has had a great home schedule. East Carolina, Virginia Tech, Texas State. They went they went a month before the next home game against Texas State. They won that game. Texas State's a very, very good team. And then, of course, the next game, Georgia Southern, was unbelievable. They was on a national TV on a Thursday night, and the fans have been very good, and they've stayed there simply because the games have been exciting right down toward the end. I will tell you, though, this James Madison game on Saturday at 4:00 sold out faster than the Virginia Tech game earlier in the season. So, I think it was, 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, it was described that they were selling tickets on StubHub for $140, $150 each. So we'll see how much they go up in the next couple of days. But, the fans have been great for Old Dominion University.
I want to get your final thoughts. Just as you watch all sports, what are your thoughts so far on the Commanders, what a difference a year makes? They do have a winning record, but it won't get easy against the Eagles on Thursday night. And, it's always tough to win on the road in November and December.
Absolutely, you're right. 2 games against the Eagles, 2 games against the Cowboys. They're always tough. So it's going to be very important for Thursday night's game on the road against the Eagles. I think they really have to be competitive. They can't, go in there and lose like, 27-3 or something like that. If they don't necessarily have to win, but if they can be competitive, and even if they lose, let's say it's 27-24 or a game that happened last Sunday with Pittsburgh, losing by 1 point, they had an opportunity to win that game, as you know, but it was just a matter of inches. And some people thought that on that fourth down that they did make a first down, but the officials said no, and that if they had made that first down, there's no doubt in my mind that they would have had a great opportunity to kick a winning field goal.
Yeah, there were a lot of Steelers fans there. Rick, all the best to you and the broadcast team and your other career in the insurance business. All the best to you. Always enjoy hearing your voice and talking to you on the air.
My pleasure. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you. Rick Kiefner right there, a longtime Old Dominion broadcaster right there on Sports Scene.
A tradition of excellence for over 50 years is the Aberdeen Barn Steakhouse in Virginia Beach. Start your experience off with she crab soup, an assortment of appetizers such as the fried oyster Rockefeller crispy calamari, just to name a few. Aberdeen Barn has the finest premium steaks, prime rib, grilled tomahawk ribeye, seafood, chicken, pasta dishes, and live music in a most pleasing atmosphere. Open daily. Visit them at 5805 Northampton Boulevard in Virginia Beach. Call 464-1580 and log on to aberdeenbarn.net.
Thank you for listening to Sports Scene. Always great to connect. At Greg Bick on YouTube. That's GREGBIC. Subscribe. Also Greg Bick on Twitter as well. For more, go to gjbtv.com, hrsmhof.com, and hamptonroadsonlinemall.com. Also connect with me on LinkedIn, Greg Bicouvaris, and also Facebook, Greg Bicouvaris as well. Thank you. Thanks to our good friends at Lee Matney Art Consultancy and Gallery, Photographs and Art Consulting right there in beautiful Williamsburg. Iconic paintings and photographs. They've got a lot of great resources, pop, art, surrealism, and of course, abstraction right there at Linda Matney Art Gallery, the Colonial Capitol on Richmond Road. Google them, follow them on social media. Linda Matney Gallery has iconic paintings and photographs for sale. The owner, Lee Matney, graduated from the University of Georgia and Hampton Roads Academy in Newport News. Visit and watch the website lindamatneygallery.com for pop-up content. Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville and Virginia Beach, open daily for lunch and dinner. Mike and the staff will take good care of you. Burgers, steaks, salads, appetizers, desserts, and much more. Great atmosphere, nice bar, spacious dining room. 1255 Fordham Drive in Virginia Beach. And welcome back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris on the Audacy app and wherever you get your podcast. Always a pleasure to talk to our annual yearly guest. That time of the year again, Andy Lunsford, Park Operations Superintendent with Parks and Recreation for the City of Newport News. How are you?
Good.
Very good. That time of the year, it's the fall, and of course that means Celebration and Lights coming up very soon.
Yes, sir. We start Thanksgiving night. This is the 32nd annual Celebration Lights at Newport News Park. We start Thanksgiving night and run through January 1st.
Very good. Tell us about it. What's going to be different this year? And, of course, this is something that adults and kids both like.
Yeah, we featured 2 miles of lights driving through Newport News Park. This year, Newport News was recognized as an All-American City, and we've actually got a new All-American City logo and lights that you'll be able to see. We've got some new arches, some fish arches. We've got Snappy the Dragon, an alligator, and some other stuff. So, yeah, it's certainly going to be worthwhile for everyone to come out and see the lights again.
Very good. Now, I want to get it straight, too. We've always driven through there, and, of course, there's tour buses. Are people allowed to physically walk it, or is it too dangerous with all the cars there?
Yeah, Thanksgiving through January 1st, it's drive-through only. The Center for Child and Family Services actually does a charity walk through the lights the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. HolidayLightStroll.com, and you can find more information on their website. It's all the tickets go through them, and then we just turn the lights on for them, and they folks are able to walk through the lights that night.
It's a lot more enjoyable, though, sitting in your car, drinking some hot chocolate, and just watching it, because walking is almost too much work.
Yeah, it's a pretty good walk. It's about 2 miles through here, so it is a pretty good walk. And we encourage everyone to come through the lights any night. We're open every night, 5:30 to 10 p.m. So come through and bring the family.
Very good. We've had a mild fall so far as well. Well, there's a lot of things going on with the City of Newport News. Let's talk about right there where you're at day to day by the Visitor Center. That's a great hub for people to find out about what's going on in Newport News.
Yeah, we're entrance to Newport News Park is the Newport News Visitor Center, so you can find about all events and happenings throughout Newport News, but it also serves as park headquarters, so you can find more information about the park and camping, fishing, boating, our hiking trails. It's a great time of year to be out in the park and hiking. Don't know if you know, but Newport News actually has 36 parks scattered throughout the city. Of course, the crown jewel at Newport News Park, but we feature small neighborhood parks throughout the city. You can find more information on parks at our website is nnparksandrec.org. Of course, all our athletic events and the other holiday happenings, we have the City Center Light Show. We have an event on December 7th at City Center with the tree lighting, and they've actually got a drone show. It's going to be at 8 p.m. That same night on December 7th is the Art Tech Lights at Down and Gross Cultural Arts Center. And then every night after that through January 1st at City Center and Down and Gross will be light shows where the lights come on every night, and you can see them there.
Very good. Talking to Andy Lunsford right there from the city of Newport News Parks and Recreation. Of course, really there's something for everyone, like you said. I guess there's not as much, activity during the cold months in January and February as far as being outdoors. But the water there, it's been a mild fall, like we said, and hopefully it'll be a mild winter. But, tell us about how somebody goes about getting a rowboat or something to go out there and just stroll there during the lake.
Sure. The parks are open sunrise to sunset every day. If you want to rent a boat, our campsite office is open daily. They do boat rentals and bike rentals. They can provide information about hiking. Our campsite office kind of is open for folks to come in. You don't have to be camping with us. You can come in and get more information about our park there if you're here in person. Or if you're familiar with the park, you can, of course, drive in and visit one of our facilities, whether it's a picnic shelter or play disc golf. We have a golf course here. Of course, 2 36-hole golf courses right here in Newport News Park. So, plenty to do for everyone, not just in Newport News Park, but all our parks all throughout the city. And our rec centers, aquatic facilities, we've got athletic leagues, indoor basketball, field hockey, all those type things are going on now. More information on our website and sign up for those classes.
Are there indoor basketball leagues for adult, or is it just for youth?
They do have adult activities for, basketball, open gym. We have outdoor courts. There's plenty to do from adult softball, adult leagues. So all that stuff can be found from the little kids all the way up to seniors. There's something for everyone in the city here with Parks and Rec offers.
There really is. The softball is great in Newport News. It's also very good in York County as well. But really, the softball is a great sport. People can play that year round outdoors. Might just have to bundle up a little bit, but it really is a lot of fun. There really is something for everybody to do. And there's park rangers, just for the folks listening out there too, that you do see some wildlife sometimes. Mostly it's just deer, correct, Andy?
Yeah, we get calls for deer, or the deer are really active this time of year, but we get calls from everything from, orphaned and injured birds and squirrels, raccoons. Our park rangers and our animal control officers can certainly be a help if you have any questions. Our Discovery Center at Newport News Park can offer you, advice over the phone. If you find an animal not sure what to do, you can give them a call at 757-886-7916, and they can provide information to help you out with any wildlife that you do find. And if a park ranger is needed, they can dispatch a park ranger out to give you assistance as well.
Right. And we'll leave with the folks with this too. A lot of events happen 1 or 2 days around Hampton Roads. The celebration of lights is over 30 days. That's a lot of fun. It goes past Christmas, just in case you didn't get it through Christmas. I'm amazed, Andy, how many people go after Christmas as well.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people, so busy leading up to the holidays, and then the week after the holidays, some people are off of work or the kids are out of school, so it's still a great time to come out and see the lights. The crowds aren't quite as bad, so the lines aren't as long, and you can get through the lights a little bit quicker. So if you have family in town after Christmas, come back and see us the week after Christmas. Again, we're open through January 1st, 5:30 to 10 p.m. every night at Newport News Park. Come out and see us. Very good.
Andy, thank you for your time, your talent, and your treasure. All the best to the city of Newport News Parks and Recreation. Great events coming up in the fall and the winter right there with celebration of lights and so much more. Really enlightens the city and glows really during the holiday season.
Yeah, thank you, Greg, and y'all happy holidays to everyone.
Very good. My pleasure. Andy Lunsford right there from the city of Newport News. Stay tuned. Buffalo Wild Wings in Newport News. Great lunch and dinner, late night at Buffalo Wild Wings. Delicious food, wings, appetizers, beverages, all the games on TV. Open 7 days a week. Like Buffalo Wild Wings on Facebook. Friendly and hardworking staff. Jefferson Avenue in Newport News by Patrick Henry Mall.
Sakura Japanese Restaurant in Chesapeake is your destination for excellent Japanese food, featuring fresh sushi and hot dishes prepared in the kitchen for lunch and dinner. Sakura is located at 1437 Sam's Drive at the Walmart Way Crossing. Oh Yummy Sushi is at the Renaissance Place at 401 North Great Neck Road in Virginia Beach. Both Sakura in Chesapeake and Oh Yummy Sushi in Virginia Beach are available with DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Pickup. Tasty Japanese food the way you want it is at Sakura and Oh Yummy Sushi.
And welcome to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris on the Audacy app and wherever you get your podcast, including social media. Always a pleasure to talk to Anthony Checchio. He's the 757 Sports Collectibles CEO and founder. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Greg, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me today.
Very good. Another holiday season coming up. And, of course, let's tell the fans a little bit about your store. Almost up a decade there.
You're right. We just celebrated our 9th anniversary in the store. The business is 10 years old. Holiday time is always an exciting time because sports gifts are definitely top of mind for people buying for sports fans. And we're basically here just to satisfy that need and make that person happy on Christmas morning.
Tell us what you got in stock as we hit November.
So this year we have more items pre-booked than we ever have before. So we're going to have a huge selection of new items. We have unsigned collectibles, novelties, autographs, a good amount of apparel, headwear, socks. We've got the fan chains. We've got pretty much anything you need if you're a sports fan. We also have a million product catalog that we can special order out of, which includes, the jerseys, a lot of the on-field apparel. There's certain things that a store of our size doesn't have access to carry in store, but we do have access to special order with expedited shipping.
Very nice talking to Anthony Checchio. And, of course, it's different year to year, each season, whether the sport is, whether the Yankees in baseball or, whoever in basketball. But football, we've seen the Washington Commanders off to a very good start. And you got to like that because that's a primary team that you focus on.
It is. The NFC East is always really strong in store, along with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But oddly enough, the Commanders, we haven't really seen them play this well since we've been open. They've made the playoffs, I believe, once or twice, but a lot of those were, around 500 seasons. So the way they're playing this year, it's looking like they could definitely win the division, and it would be great if they did, and I'd love to see the Commander fans, a.k.a. the Redskins fans, kind of rise up again. And because I know in the 90s it was crazy Washington town around here.
Yeah, 80s too as well. And, of course, that's been a long, long time ago. And I was talking this to a friend the other day. Joe Gibbs won 2 of his Super Bowls during scab years, though, 82 and 87. So when you take on that into consideration, of course, they did win one in the 90s. It's been a long, long time. And, of course, right now the Commanders have a winning record.
That's true. And you're going back a little early for me in the 80s because I am an 80s baby. But I do remember those 90s times. I had a lot of friends that were Redskins fans. So, obviously, we'd love to see Washington get back on top.
Look, Anthony, they went to the Super Bowl in the 70s, too. Of course, you and I are not that different in age, but still I remember I keep up with, they played the Dolphins one year, and, of course, they did lose to the Dolphins and Don Shula. But how about the other teams? How about the Eagles? The Steelers are always a popular team no matter what you're selling there.
That's true. Eagles have been extremely popular, especially since the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 52, getting that win, and then they went to 57 and lost a close one to the Chiefs. But then with that, the Steelers are having a strong performance this year. They kind of improved the quarterback position, and it seems to have helped because that defense has been strong for several years. And I think with those two teams, along with, we always have Cowboys fans that come in. The Giants, they're looking a little rough, but their fans still come out. The New York fans are strong. They've got the Yankees to cheer for. The Mets were good this year, so there is some crossover of those fans. So we do expect to see them this year still. Yeah,
but it doesn't look like the Giants or Jets are going to go to the postseason unless a miracle happens. They win the rest of their games. That's going to be very difficult. But what a time of the year it is, though, too, Anthony, right before the holiday season. You have college basketball, college football, the NHL. You've got the National Football League, the NBA and, like I said, college football and college basketball, not to mention, the NWSL soccer. A lot going on right now.
It is crazy. The funny thing, in my opinion, the NFL does kind of just take over a lot of people's minds. The NBA, I almost feel like, starts on Christmas Day, even though they are playing early season. The NHL fans, they're wild about their sports, so they do. When the season starts, you can tell. And then college basketball is kind of, it's a little bit of a slow start as well because there's other sports on. But you can definitely tell, especially with the UNC fans, that they've started playing.
Tell us about some of the other accessories you have. You don't have just shirts and everything else. You've got a lot of different paraphernalia. It's really something for everyone there. It's like a wonderland of sports attire and gear.
We do, and we also have a lot of decor-type items for your fan caves. We enhanced the Christmas selection this year, so we're talking like light-up Santas, nutcrackers, snow globes, fun stuff like that. And then we do have a lot of wall-hanging items that are new this year with light-up and shiny, and it seems like those are the popular sort of things. Anything that lights up or is shiny kind of catches people's eyes, and they get very pumped up about it, and they like to gift it to their favorite sports fan.
757 Sports Collectibles is on X. They're on Facebook and Instagram. Their address is 2686 Virginia Beach Boulevard. Tell us about that shopping center. That's been home to you for a long time.
It has, and the funny thing is, when we moved in, there was maybe about 10 vacancies, and it's funny because I used to drive by this Lynn Haven Convenience Center as a kid all the time, and there was a splattering of different businesses, but it's a really cool, eclectic mix of just smaller companies and smaller businesses because every space is around 1,200 square feet, so it's just a good mix. It's easy to get into because we have a light. The parking is close to our entrance because, if you try to go to the mall or somewhere during the holidays, you got to park like a mile away. So, I really think it's the ideal spot for us. It's got coverage over the front door when we have autograph signings so people don't get rained on. It was really a blessing to come in here. We're right down from Eagles Cheesesteaks, a couple down from them, so tons of Eagles fans come from there. And that's a very popular spot for that particular food in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, really something for everyone there. So, again, leave us with anything else, any other nuggets you want to. The phone number there is 757-340-4016. And tell us your hours.
The holiday hours do extend a little bit from the normal hours, so we're typically 10:30 to 6:30 during the week. Saturday's a little shorter, 10 to 5. And then Sunday doesn't really start until the last couple weeks before Christmas, and that's typically 12 to 5. I will tell everybody, I think you should do your Christmas shopping with us because we will make sure you get the best product for the person you're buying for. We go above and beyond to source the products for our store, and if we don't have it, we can always special order it, and it comes in quickly, and we're right there to help you. We will do everything we can. And if you can't make up your mind because we have so many great choices, you can do a gift certificate. Let the person you're gifting come in and choose, and we love seeing new people, so we hope a lot of new people come in this year so we can help them out and just enhance the sports fans of the 757.
You made me laugh there about parking because, you and I both play tennis. That's a lot of running around the court. But I'm always amazed that these athletes, they complain about parking near a retail business, but yet they'll run a 25-mile marathon. That always makes me chuckle a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's like sometimes when you're like I'm with you on the running and the having to kind of travel a little bit because like if you're in the right mindset when you're actually playing or doing something, I feel like it's different than just like your everyday life and you park far away from the store and you got to walk a while. It's just sometimes you're in a different mindset at different points in the day.
Well, you're in the greatest city in the state, bar none. Virginia Beach is the best city in the state, great retail, the largest city in the state, and Anthony's been a big part of it since he's been a youth. 757 Sports Collectibles in Virginia Beach. All the best to you and your family and all your customers this holiday season.
Thanks, Greg. And one last thing, if
Sure.
you can't get into store, www.757sc.com. We have 150,000 products on the website, so you can find stuff there that's not even in store.
Yep, and Google 757 Sports Collectibles. Like Anthony said, 757 S is in Sam, C is in cat.com. All the best, Anthony.
Thanks, Greg.
My pleasure.
Have a great holidays.
You too. Stay tuned. Thanks to our good friends at Lee Matney Art Consultancy and Gallery, photographs and art consulting right there in beautiful Williamsburg. Iconic paintings and photographs. They've got a lot of great resources, pop, art, surrealism, and of course, abstraction right there at Linda Matney Art Gallery, the Colonial Capital on Richmond Road. Google them, follow them on social media. Linda Matney Gallery has iconic paintings and photographs for sale. The owner, Lee Matney, graduated from the University of Georgia and Hampton Roads Academy in Newport News. Visit and watch the website lindamatneygallery.com for pop-up content. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, open in Yorktown. Go by and see Paul and his wonderful staff. High-quality chicken fingers, fries, coleslaw, Texas toast. It is delicious. The great chicken sandwich, cane sauce, a kids menu, refreshing beverages, tailgates, they've got it all. Follow Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers on social media. They are open daily. Sakura Sushi Bar is now open in Virginia Beach. For one-of-a-kind dining experience, Sakura in Red Mill is a favorite of locals and tourists. Tasty sushi prepared fresh for you, as well as delicious entrees from the kitchen. This is the go-to place for sushi lovers. Enjoy lunch and dinner daily with some refreshing cocktails and adult beverages. Sakura Sushi Bar is located at 2137 Upton Drive and is open daily. Call 757-522-7288 and enjoy your next meal at Sakura Sushi Bar at Red Mill Commons.
So, what's Greg's problem?
I'm very mad!
God, I'm so mad right now!
I know you're mad. I know you're upset.
It's time for What Tees Greg Off.
Kenny, always a fun segment, What Tees Me Off. People tapping you on your shoulder or personal property when you least expect it, like tapping your car, tapping you when you are just not looking at it.
Don't touch me!
Driving with the sun glare in your eyes, that never gets old, whether it's early in the morning, late at night, especially in the fall back in the early morning. You're trying to drive, you got every visor down, sunglasses don't even help.
You gotta hold your hand up to block the sun.
We've all dealt with insurance people trying to do a claim, and those toll-free number people just calling you before 9 o'clock in the morning and want to talk insurance. And I'm like, really, it's just because it's convenient for you, it's not convenient for me.
Right. And when I don't recognize the caller, I know I should ignore it, but sometimes they come in and you think, who is that? I'm going to answer. Maybe it's I won the lottery. Nope.
Phone calls used to be really pleasant, but now I realize they're just taking up a lot of time and they cause stress and anxiety.
Amen.
All right, that's what tees me off. Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris is now on the Audacy app and Audacy.com. And welcome back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris on the Audacy app and wherever you get your podcast as well. It's a pleasure to talk to George McClain, the owner of the Marksman in Newport News. George, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Greg. How about yourself?
Very good, very good. The store was really buzzing the last time I was there. It seemed like a lot of people were wanting to get enhancements, take training, take courses, and just be serious about protecting themselves and their family.
Yeah, and now the election's behind us, so we'll see what effect that has. I remember the last time that Trump got elected, everything was great, and everyone was buying guns because I think they felt that Hillary was going to get in, and if she did, she was going to, stop all that, outlaw everything. And once Trump got in, kind of took the pressure off everybody, and everything kind of just still slowed down, and it was almost overnight. So we'll see how it works out this time around.
It's still kind of early to tell, although the election was over a week ago, but it's definitely different, and of course, it's a different vibe with Trump going to be back in office.
I think there's a lot of us looking forward to that. I've got my fingers crossed that he goes. Does great guns, no pun intended, and gets the job done. We've been kind of waiting for that.
The Marksman is located at 520 Industrial Park Drive in Newport News. Their phone number is 757-872-4130. George, give us an update on the hours for November and December.
No changes. They're going to be the same from 10 until 6, Monday through Saturday. Sundays we're still holding that We're using that for the concealed classes when we have those. They are on the Sunday, but right now, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6.
You can always see updates on Facebook, the Marksman's Firearms Training Center and Indoor Shooting Range. The Marksman has been around for several years. And of course, George, there's always new things going on, but give some people out there some advice on the hunting season. They've got to be careful when they're out in the fields and out in the woods. They might think they're in the clear, but that's not always the case.
Well, the biggest thing about the hunting season is the same thing with, what we talk about guns in general, is either make sure you are practiced, that you know how to operate the firearm that you're out hunting with, or that you're with somebody who does. And that's probably a good thing, is always hunt with a buddy anyway, just in case. You never know if something unforeseen could happen. And make sure that you've got some your reflective hunting garment on that makes you stand out to where other people can see. There's folks out there that do not honor the thing of knowing what you're shooting at before you pull the trigger and positively identify that target. Some will see something move in the brush and think it's a deer, if that's deer season that you're out there, and without positively identifying it, and people get shot, and it happens every single year, and it's usually the shooter's fault that happens. So you want to make sure, though, that it's not your fault, and wear something that's blaze orange that really stands out, and that's required that you do that anyway.
Very good. Talking to George McClain, the owner of the Marksman in Newport News as well, and so much necessarily gun related, but during the holiday season for patients, you go to these big box stores, George, and you've got these cars parking so close to each other, not giving you the proper space, sometimes not even giving you the proper space at a grocery store. So people's tempers are always there, but just give us some advice for people in general, because this time of the year, it seems like everybody's patience is running thin.
Well, and that's, you just always have to have control over your emotions, and whether somebody cuts you off going to the store, so now you got road rage, you could be involved, to someone, like you say, parking right up next to you to where you could barely get in and out of your car. There's some people out there that they're stupid, and you can't fix that, but you can be aware of it. And just don't let it get the best of you. You can confront people in a tactful way, but you don't want to be aggressive, and they can be aggressive to you, and don't let that ruin your day either. You just turn and walk away, and you come back at some point in time. Their vehicles are going to be gone. You're going to be able to get in your car. If it is a worse situation than that, you make a phone call to the police and have them come down and file your complaint. If you're carrying for self-defense, that's great, but you have to, again, control your emotions, and unless someone pulls a gun on you, you have no right to pull a gun on anybody else. So that's the big thing. We teach that in the classes. What constitutes your reasonable fear for death or serious bodily injury, and that's a circumstance to where the law allows you to use deadly force to protect yourself, protect your life, or that of another person. If you do not have a reasonable, what the courts would define as reasonable fear, and that reasonableness would be in the mind of the judge or the jurors that's sitting in judgment of you, if given the same circumstances, if they had to face that they would have taken the same action you did. If they had that same fear in their head, that the action that you took would have been what they would have done themselves, then that's going to be deemed reasonable. Other than that, you cook your own goose. And so you need to be aware of the law and have a handle on yourself.
Talking to George McClain from the Marksman, thank you for that advice too. And also, folks, be careful on the interstates and the roads too. A lot of police, a lot of ambulance went out there, fire trucks. It's very narrow, especially there in Hampton, going across to Norfolk. The roads are very narrow. They're doing a lot of construction with the interstates and the tunnels, not to mention, just the regular highways as well. Be mindful it gets dark early, George, and that's not easy for pedestrians either, because sometimes they can get hit by just being jaywalking. There's a lot of jaywalkers out there.
Well, that's exactly right. And I mean, you got to keep control of the situation the best that you can. So don't do stupid stuff. I hate to keep using that word, stupid, but it's what it is. Don't contribute to your own misfortune by doing something like that. You don't want to be running across the interstate or any busy highway like that without extremely good reason. And by even that, I'm talking about medical emergencies or something along that line. Just be safe by your own actions. That's the best that any of us can do. The rest of us is just being, if you're when you're out and you're driving, is keeping your head on the swivel and be aware of what's going on. You're exactly right that tunnel traffic going over to Norfolk, they're building another set of tunnels there, and that's going to be going on for quite some time. So it's people that live over here and work over there, or vice versa. They're going to be putting up with that for quite a while, and it's very, very easy to develop some road rage with some of the shenanigans that other drivers pull. But it's again, just keep a handle on things, and you'll take a deep breath, and you'll get through it. Everything will be fine.
Very good. Final thing, George. Any new accessories or any specials going on for the buyers out there?
Nothing out of the ordinary. Stuff that we have every day, but we're well stocked on pretty much everything. We're able to get again pre-COVID days, pretty much what we want to get in. So come in, check us out. If something that's on your list that we don't have, we can certainly, I'm sure, we've got a vendor that carries it, so we can get it ordered in for you. So come in and say hi to everybody, and let us see if we can help you out.
I've got to ask you this before I let you go. Do you recommend young people get practice on a BB gun first before they become 18 or 21 and use a regular gun?
They can. Certainly nothing against that, where they could. And that's most kids, I think, that would do that would be with their dads or an uncle or somebody like that, which is fine. And, where it's, BB or, pellets, kind of a deal, but it's just, your basic, firearm instruction of how you handle the weapon, how you present it, the same rules of, not having your finger on the trigger until you're sighted on your target and you're ready to fire, kind of going through those fundamentals. And it may be because of the noise factor. We've seen fathers bring their sons, and not just sons, but sons and daughters, or sons or daughters in, and the noise becomes a big issue if they've never been to a range before. So certainly BB gun, pellet gun outside of the range area, if you've got space to do that, could kind of help alleviate that issue, and then get them onto the range and get them accustomed to the noise that's going to be there. But the noise, I think, seems to be a bigger detriment the younger the child is. So that would be something to keep in mind. But I see nothing against BB gun or pellet gun doing that beforehand. Would certainly make sense. But again, parents know their child better than I do, and better than any of my instructors do. So we'd leave that up to the parents to make that decision. But there would certainly not be anything wrong with that.
Very good, George. All the best to you and your wife and family for the holiday season. We'll talk to you after the first of the year. That's George McClain from the Marksman Training Center Indoor Shooting Range, 520 Industrial Park Drive in Newport News, 757-872-4130. George, all the best to Sherry and the staff over there.
All right, thanks, Greg. And you guys have great holidays, and we'll see you next year.
Very good. Thank you, George. George McClain, stay tuned. I want to thank all of our great guests today. For more on Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris, go to the Audacy app, wherever you get your podcasts. Go to gjbtv.com, click the YouTube link, and subscribe to Greg Bick. Our great guests today, Rick Kiefner, Anthony Checchio, Andy Lunsford, and George McClain. For Ken Carson, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. Happy November, and we'll talk to you soon.